Hi friends, today's video is going to be a little bit different than what you normally see from me. The outside hiking or biking or in the gym working out. Um, Today's going to be a video on one of my hobbies. I enjoy woodworking and I happen to have a wood shop in my basement. So my daughter's coming over today and she wants to make a cutting board. So we're going to go through all the steps on how to make a cutting board. I've made quite a few of these. I've made charcuterie boards, all kinds of different things. But today we'll be using maple and walnut. And I think she wants to do a checkerboard pattern. So I'll take you through all the steps on how this comes together, start to finish, and should be a good one. So thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for the rest of it. Bye. Okay, my daughter has arrived and we are going over different patterns and trying to decide what she wants. I sped this up because it would have been over an hour otherwise. But so we've decided on a pattern. We're laying them out. I'm showing her what to do here. Obviously, we get the glue evenly spread. Then we stand them up together. Then we've got a few loose end boards at the end. We've got to finish up, and then we'll clamp it and leave it overnight. And she doesn't come back for a couple days just because of her schedule. So in a couple days, we get back to this, and that's where we'll pick up. So now we're just finalizing the clamps, making sure they're even all the way across. We don't have any boards that have bulged up or anything. And we're getting ready to let it sit for the night. Okay, we're back. It's the next day. We're going to take the clamps off this board and start milling it down for finish. Okay, she's back and we're removing the clamps. You'll see that we have to knock those taped boards off the bottom, pick a little bit of tape off, and then we'll move it over to the planer now. And so I'm showing her how all this works, describing each detail to her. I forgot to mention that she ended up deciding against the checkerboard pattern, and she also added some cherry boards in there. So I'll show you at the end what she came up with. It was a pretty cool design. If you were to split it down the middle, it's like a reverse mirror image of each other. Each side is so kind of cool. So now we're pushing it through the planer. Just going slow each time, taking it down to the size we want, and then doing the finish plane, a few swipes of the finish plane on setting 1, and then we'll take it over to the saw. So now I left it to her to cut down the size on the miter saw, and she's handy, so she's used one of these before. She's fully comfortable with that. So she's just getting it to the exact size that she wants. There's a little preview of it. She decided she wanted rounded corners, so we took it to the bandsaw. We're just rounding off the corners before we take it over to the oscillating sander and smooth it all out, and then ultimately over to the router and put a nice bevel edge on it. Now we're at the oscillating belt sander, We're just taking the bandsaw grooves out of the corners that we just cut. And if you don't have one of these oscillating sanders in your shop, you really need one. They're pretty awesome. So this will get the edges and the corners real smooth, and then we'll take it over to the table and bevel, take the router and put a 45 bevel on the top edge. Now we're ready to get the router out, and I was describing to her how the router works, and to be super careful because it rotates at such a high RPM. So I think she was a little intimidated, so I asked if she wanted me to do that part, and she said yeah. But I understand, for the first time ever seeing one, that's probably the smart thing to do. So we got the 45 bevel on it. Now we're going to make the holes for the rubber feet, and then we'll take those out again and get ready for oil. Actually, I forgot a step. So now I'm having her take the orbital sander and give it a few passes. She starts with a 220 grit, front and back, sides, everything, and then we go up to a 320 grit and just make it baby smooth. And after that, we'll blow it off, we'll get it cleaned up, and then we get ready to put the first coat of oil on it. All right, here we are. Get ready to start the last step. I'm going to have her put the oil conditioner on it, and you can see how it just comes to life. I love this part. This is when all the wood really shows. And I think the walnut, seeing walnut with that wet oil on it might be my favorite. But if you can stop the video and look at the pattern there, you'll see what I was saying. Okay, we're going to call it good for tonight here. I'm going to put the rubber feet on it for her, and I gave her instructions on how to put more oil on it tomorrow and the next day as it's going to soak up. So there's the final product. I'm really proud of her, and she's really happy with it. So it came out to be about 12 inches wide and 23 inches long. So great job on her part.